Hello Jays Nation, and welcome back to the place where the pulse of Toronto baseball never sleeps. If you can feel a shift in the air today, you're not imagining it. Something is stirring around this ball club, something loud, restless, and unapologetically ambitious. The Toronto Blue Jays are not whispering this off-season, they are speaking in bold sentences, and the news that has surfaced in just the last few hours paints a picture of a franchise that has decided patience is no longer enough. If you love this team, if you breathe Blue Jays baseball, then settle in, because this is one of those moments where the future starts tapping loudly on the present. Before we dive headfirst into the chaos, take a second to do something that genuinely helps this channel grow. Like the video, share it with another Jays fan who needs to hear this, and subscribe to the Blue Jays Report so you never miss a twist, a turn, or a late-night roster shock like the ones we're about to unpack. Alright, let's talk baseball the way it actually feels right now. The first update didn't arrive gently. It landed like a cold splash of water to the face, the kind that tells you instantly this front office is done playing it safe. Late Saturday, quietly but decisively, the Blue Jays cut ties with one of their most expensive recent commitments by outrighting Yoriel Rodriguez off the 40-man roster and sending him to AAA Buffalo. On paper, he's still in the organization, and yes, that sounds harmless. In reality, this move speaks volumes, because this wasn't a fringe signing or a forgotten contract. This was a 5-year, $32 million investment made just 2 off-seasons ago, and Toronto was willing to risk losing it all. Rodriguez cleared waivers, which means 29 other teams looked at the remaining $17 million owed over the next 3 seasons and collectively said no. That alone tells you how unforgiving the current pitching market has become. What makes this even more fascinating is that Rodriguez didn't collapse on the mound. His numbers were solid, even respectable. A 3.08 ERA across 66 appearances, most of them out of the bullpen, 73 innings pitched, 66 strikeouts. Those are not disaster stats. Those are the numbers of a pitcher who did his job, but not the job the Blue Jays ultimately needed him to do. Toronto never truly saw Rodriguez as a long-term reliever. He was meant to be more, to stretch out, to evolve, to fit into a bigger plan that has now clearly changed shape. As the season wore on, his role shrank, his leverage moments disappeared, and his post-season struggles, small sample size or not, lingered in the decision-making rooms. With new starters arriving and more reportedly on the way, roster spots have become precious real estate, and sentimentality doesn't pay rent. By removing Rodriguez from the 40-man roster, the Blue Jays didn't just make a statement about him. They created opportunity. That roster now sits lighter, more flexible, more dangerous. This move feels less like an ending and more like someone clearing space on a chessboard. Rodriguez will go to spring training with something to prove, fighting like a non-roster invitee to earn his way back. But the real story here isn't his uphill battle. It's what that open roster spot is about to become. And this is where the energy shifts from ruthless to exciting, because the timing is not accidental. With the Rule 5 draft looming and the winter meetings underway, this move has all the fingerprints of a front office preparing to strike. Whether it's a high-leverage bullpen arm or something even bigger, Toronto has positioned itself to act quickly, decisively, and without hesitation. This is not a passive team waiting for bargains. This is a team hunting solutions. If that first update was cold and calculated, the second one is pure electricity. Jays Nation, if you've been craving power, if you've been dreaming of a bat that can change the temperature of a game with one swing, then listen carefully. The Blue Jays are showing serious interest in Japanese superstar Kazuma Okamoto, and this is not smoke for the sake of noise. This is a 6-time NPB All-Star, a man who has terrorized pitching in Japan for the better part of a decade, and now he's on Toronto's radar. Okamoto's resume reads like something pulled from a video game. 30 or more home runs in 6 different seasons. League-leading power in multiple years. Even in a season cut short by injury, he produced numbers that make scouts lean forward in their chairs. A .327 average, a .416 on-base percentage, nearly .600 slugging, 15 home runs in just 293 plate appearances. This isn't raw talent waiting to be shaped. This is a finished weapon. Yes, the questions will come, as they always do, about how NPB production translates to Major League Baseball. But Okamoto isn't a guess. He handles velocity. He controls the strike zone. He makes loud contact. These are traits that travel. This is the kind of offensive profile that doesn't just lengthen a lineup, it changes how opponents pitch to everyone else. The positional puzzle is real, of course. He's been a third baseman, but most expect a move to first base in MLB, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. already owns that ground in Toronto. But baseball has a way of making space for talent. Versatility exists. Designated hitter roles evolve. Lineups adapt when the bat is too loud to ignore. If Okamoto can produce anywhere near his Japanese numbers, the Blue Jays will not let a depth chart stand in the way of impact. What this interest tells us is crucial. Toronto is not shopping for marginal upgrades. They are looking for a bat that can tilt October. A bat that can walk into a clubhouse and instantly change the conversation. Whether it's Okamoto, Kyle Tucker, or another name still lurking in the shadows, the message is unmistakable. The Blue Jays are not done. That brings us to the third update, and this one feels like the heartbeat of the entire off-season. The winter meetings are here, and this is where plans turn into action. Deals accelerate. Phones don't stop ringing. And Toronto has arrived prepared. The move involving Rodriguez now looks like the opening act to something much louder, because the bullpen remains the final piece of an already imposing puzzle. The name hovering over everything is Edwin Díaz. A closer who doesn't just finish games, but suffocates them. Díaz's career numbers are staggering, almost unreal when you say them out loud. Over 250 saves. An ERA under 3. Nearly 15 strikeouts per 9 innings. He doesn't pitch, he detonates innings. And the Blue Jays have been circling him all off-season, meeting with his representatives, making it clear they are serious. Yes, the Mets want him back. Yes, the Dodgers are lurking. But Toronto has something very specific right now. A need. A roster spot. And the financial muscle to make it happen. Adding Díaz wouldn't just improve the bullpen, it would redefine it. It would turn late innings into theater, into inevitability, into something opponents dread. And there's even talk the Jays want 2 back-end relievers, not just one, to fully weaponize this staff. Beyond free agency, the Rule 5 draft adds another layer of intrigue. Toronto must decide who to protect and who to risk losing. Names like Yohendrick Pinango spark debate, while creative selections like injured pitchers offer long-term upside without immediate pressure. Every move is being weighed not just for now, but for what this roster looks like when the games matter most. When you step back and look at all of this together, the message becomes impossible to ignore. The Blue Jays are all in. Not loudly, not recklessly, but with precision and intent. They are reshaping, rebalancing, and refusing to be sentimental about yesterday's solutions. If you're enjoying this breakdown and you want to stay ahead of every twist this off-season delivers, make sure you like the video, share it, and subscribe to the Blue Jays Report. This winter is moving fast, and we'll be right here when the next major move drops. Because this isn't just an off-season. It feels like a turning point. And the Blue Jays are no longer waiting for the future to arrive. They're going out to meet it head-on. Go Jays, go!